What's up, YouTube? This is a soap dispenser, but it's a foam dispenser, so it's not just soap but foamy soap. And the way it works is that you have a small reservoir behind. You may want to use liquid soap and mix it with water. Maybe show you this. You want to push here to detach the reservoir. Try to do this one hand. Probably not going to work. So that's how it looks. This is the reservoir. It doesn't really hold a lot. You are going to refill it quite often on this model. But the idea is to put maybe 1/3 liquid soap, and I suggest you get a good brand, not a cheap one that leaves residues. That may clog the motor. So 1/3 liquid soap and 2/3 water, and mix it before. You really need to mix it nicely. You also pull this small cup and has a tiny tube that goes to the bottom. Let's put perhaps this thing to a test. So when you put this thing in place, just make sure you fully engage it here. Let's put this thing to test. Basically, you have this top button, which is an on-off button only. So you cannot adjust the amount or the foam matter. It's just on and off. So it's a touch button. You just touch it, and usually one touch, let's see, the blue color means it's on. I think two red flashes means it's off. So on and off. And when you want to replace or refill it, you make sure you put it to off first, so you don't start spreading the thing all around. So you just turn this thing on, and let's see. So that's about the amount. I'm going to say it's pretty perfect amount of foam. You don't want more, you don't want less. It's just a good amount of foam. See my hand, if you want, it's plenty enough to wash both your hands clean enough. Now it does require batteries, and this is the battery door, and you should not try at any moment, even if you are depressed, to lift this lock, whatever tab is, with your fingernails. It's going to destroy your fingernails, even if you are a male, if you're not one of those ladies with long nails. It's a nail destroyer. So what you want to do is just grab, don't try with a knife, right? Insert here screwdriver and just lift this tab. So just lift it, and then the cover pops open. Has 3 AA batteries. How long does it last? It depends on the battery, obviously, but if I myself I use alkaline one, Duracell or something like that, Energizer, so perhaps the best. It obviously depends how much are you going to use it, how many times a day. It's going to last you maybe for a very frequent user, maybe 1 month on alkaline batteries. For a less frequent user, maybe 2-3 months. So it's going to eat quite a bit of battery, so better maybe use rechargeable ones. It's going to make you less depressed. I have to say that, but what's the question maybe, why are you really using one of these? I mean, why, when you have these buttons, you just press and wash your hands? I think it's a fun factor. And it's weird. It just kind of remembers me of maybe hotels or something, places like that. When you have these commodities, it's just fun. I have to say, if you have kids, it's going to be perhaps less messy than one of these things. But I have to say that I did had, prior to this model, I did had 2 other models which would look very different. And those were pure garbage, totally garbage. It would just stop working after a few weeks at best. It would just get soaked with water, and then any other problems. This model, it's very sturdy, but also very well done inside. I managed to open it, which is difficult because it has plastic clips all around, so you can break it very easily. But I have to say, I did look inside at all those small tubes, motor and whatnot, and the electronic circuit. It's protected from water and it's well done. It's all well put together. So it's at least when I purchased this one, maybe when they start building this really a large scale, producing them a large scale from the demand, maybe they drop the quality. But at this point, when I purchased this one, it was really very strong inside, actually surprisingly strong. So I would suspect it's durable. You should not expect it to fail within 1 or 6 months. It's usually pretty waterproof around here. Basically, you are going to put your hand underneath, but you need to be careful not to drop it in water, so not to drop it in your sink. Also not to drop it on the side. If you drop it on the side, the fluid may leak inside. So carefully if you have those kids that obviously don't pay attention, so they don't mess with it. It's not the most stable one. I'm filming in a weird situation here. It's not the most stable. Again, so kids may surely bump it and make it fall, but if it falls on the floor, it's okay. But if it falls in the water, you are going to ruin it. Most of the time it doesn't spill, so it doesn't leak. When you just get that foam from it, it does not keep leaking. My suggestion, because this is foamy soap, is first with dry hands, or just put your soap or the soap on your hands and maybe just wash your hands and then rinse them. If you have your hands wet at first when you put the soap on them, it's going to leak water everywhere, so it's not the best way to do this thing. I'll put you a link if you want, but obviously there are many sellers. This sells for about $20.